Saving money can feel impossible, like trying to hold on to water in your hands. Every time you think you're making progress, something comes along and drains your account. But why is it so hard? Let's dive into some solid reasons why you can't seem to save money and, more importantly, what you can do about it. One big reason is lifestyle inflation. As soon as you start earning more, your expenses rise to match or even exceed your income. You get a raise, and suddenly that basic coffee isn't good enough. You want the fancy latte. Or you upgrade your phone, your car, or your wardrobe to match your success. The truth is, lifestyle inflation is sneaky and it creeps in little by little. The trick: act like your income hasn't changed, even when it does. Channel the extra cash into savings instead of spending. Another culprit is not knowing where your money is going. You might feel like you're spending reasonably, but small, untracked expenses add up. Those daily snacks, streaming subscriptions, and random impulse buys might seem harmless, but over time, they bleed your wallet dry. The fix: start tracking every expense for at least a month. When you see where your money goes, you'll be surprised and more motivated to cut back. Debt is another savings killer. If you're drowning in credit card payments, student loans, or car loans, it's no wonder you can't save. Interest eats up your income before you even see it. The key here is to focus on paying off high-interest debts first. Consider strategies like the avalanche method, where you tackle the highest interest rate debts first, or the snowball method, where you pay off the smallest debts to build momentum. Impulse spending can sabotage even the best intentions. Sales, discounts, and the lure of treating yourself make it easy to blow your budget. Social media doesn't help either, constantly showing you things you didn't even know you wanted. Combat this by giving yourself a cooling-off period. See something you want. Wait 48 hours before buying. Often, the urge passes and you'll thank yourself later. A lack of financial goals is another reason savings fall by the wayside. When you don't have a clear purpose for your money, it's easy to spend it mindlessly. Set specific, measurable goals. Whether it's saving for a house, a vacation, or an emergency fund, having a target keeps you focused and disciplined. Living paycheck to paycheck can also make saving feel impossible. If you're just barely covering your bills, the idea of setting aside money might seem laughable. In this case, look for ways to increase your income or reduce your expenses. Maybe you can pick up a side hustle or cut back on non-essential spending like dining out or entertainment. Neglecting automation is another common mistake. If you rely on willpower to save, you're setting yourself up for failure. Automate your savings so a portion of your paycheck goes straight into a savings account before you even see it. Out of sight, out of mind. Many people also underestimate the importance of budgeting. Without a budget, you're navigating your finances blindfolded. A budget doesn't have to be restrictive, it's just a plan for how you'll spend and save your money. Start with the 50-30-20 rule: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. Fear of missing out, FOMO, is another savings trap. You see your friends traveling, dining out, or buying the latest gadgets, and you feel pressure to keep up. Remember, appearances can be deceiving. Just because someone seems to have it all doesn't mean they're not struggling financially. Focus on your own goals instead of comparing yourself to others. Emergency expenses can also derail your savings. If your car breaks down or you have a medical issue and no emergency fund, you'll have to dip into your savings or worse, take on debt. That's why building an emergency fund should be a top priority. Even setting aside a small amount each month can make a big difference over time. Another issue is undervaluing small amounts. Many people think saving only makes sense if they can set aside large chunks of money. But the truth is, small amounts add up. Saving $5 or $10 here and there might not seem like much, but over months and years it can grow significantly, especially with the help of compound interest. Next, a lack of financial education is a major barrier. If you don't understand how money works, it's hard to make informed decisions. Spend some time learning about personal finance. Read books, watch videos, or follow financial experts who explain things in simple terms. Lack of discipline. Without self-discipline, saving becomes a fleeting intention rather than a habit. It's easy to prioritize instant gratification over long-term financial goals. You have to train yourself to say no to non-essentials. A practical way to do this is to create a wants versus needs list before every purchase. Relying on credit cards can feel like free money, but they aren't. Over-reliance on credit for day-to-day expenses creates a vicious cycle of debt. Pay with cash or a debit card to ensure you're spending money you actually have. Unrealistic budgeting. Sometimes people create budgets that are too rigid or don't reflect their actual lifestyle. When the budget feels impossible, it's easier to abandon it altogether. Make a realistic plan that allows for occasional treats so you're more likely to stick with it. Ignoring your savings potential. Many people don't save because they think the amount they can set aside is too small to matter. This mindset stops you before you even start. Even saving $1 a day adds up to $365 in a year. Every bit counts when done consistently. Overlooking investment opportunities. Savings accounts alone aren't enough to grow wealth because of inflation. If you're not exploring investments like index funds, stocks, or even retirement accounts, you're limiting your savings potential. Learning to invest can help multiply your money without extra effort. Unpreparedness for inflation. If you don't account for inflation in your financial planning, your savings might lose value over time. Look for high-yield savings accounts or inflation-adjusted investments to preserve and grow your wealth. Emotional spending. Shopping often becomes a way to cope with stress, boredom, or sadness. Emotional spending can sabotage your savings. Find healthier alternatives to boost your mood, like exercising, journaling, or spending time with loved ones. Poor money prioritization. When people prioritize spending on things that depreciate in value like fancy cars or the latest gadgets, they lose out on opportunities to grow their savings. Redirect funds toward things that appreciate in value, like investments, education, or property. Underestimating unexpected expenses. If you think emergencies won't happen to you, you're setting yourself up for financial stress. Life is unpredictable, and failing to prepare for the unexpected, whether it's a medical bill, car repair, or job loss, means you'll have to drain your savings. Skipping annual financial reviews. You need to revisit your financial goals regularly. If you're not checking in, you may miss opportunities to adjust your plan based on changes in income, expenses, or priorities. Living in a high-cost area where you live can significantly impact your ability to save. If your rent or living expenses eat up most of your income, consider relocating to a more affordable area if possible. Neglecting side hustles. Relying solely on one source of income limits how much you can save. Picking up a side hustle or freelance work can provide the extra cash you need to boost your savings. Paying for unused subscriptions. Those small monthly charges for streaming services, gym memberships, or apps you don't use can quietly drain your account. Audit your subscriptions and cancel anything you're not actively using. Failing to negotiate costs. Many people don't realize that bills like rent, phone plans, and even medical expenses can often be negotiated. Negotiating costs can free up extra cash for savings. Avoiding DIY solutions. Paying for services you could easily do yourself, like meal prepping, basic home maintenance, or car cleaning, adds unnecessary expenses. Learning basic skills can save you money. No long-term vision. Without a clear vision of what you're saving for, it's hard to stay motivated. Picture your dream home, a comfortable retirement, or a debt-free life, and let that inspire you to save more. Saving money is about more than just cutting back. It's about making intentional choices and forming habits that align with your goals. By tackling these roadblocks, you'll be better equipped to build a financial cushion and take control of your future. Start today, no matter how small, and let those savings snowball over time.